Chat, my headphones are here. Oh, I found my headphones. We're good. Okay. Why am I not moving? Oh no, that's terrifying. That is so terrifying. There we go. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. How's my whack-ass room today? I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing. Almost time. Host here. Hello, Sex VT. Sex VT. How did you get that name? That is incredible. You are the only sex VTuber. Mm-hmm. Did I pick up more of it? No, but I have added more to it. See, now we have a lovely little drink, 4 chicken nuggets, 2 containers of sweet and sour sauce, and a bacon cheeseburger. First off, thank you, Savvy Andy, for getting first. Thank you, Pink, for getting second. Thank you, Mostwar, for getting third. Hello, Sex VT. My pronouns are he, they. Chat, what pronouns do you use? Let me know right now. Hurry up. Come on. Come on. There we go. There we go. Good job, chat. Look at you. Look at you following orders. I'm so proud of you. Anyways. Hey, they don't care anymore. Let me get a stretch in here real quick. And a drink. Cheers. If only I knew. Well, Sheer. Nice, nice, nice. And Penguin. You're such a good boy. Such a good boy. Carmia! Hello, 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 hello. Okay, let me go through everybody here real quick to make sure I say hi to everybody. Don't want anybody to feel left out. Except you. You know who you are. All right, let's see what we got. Shoot, plausible deniability. Hello, Gibbous, lovely to see you. Hello, Carmia. Hello, if only I knew how you doing. Hello, Penguin. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hello, Echo Infernal. Hello, Moss. Hi, Crucified. Hi, Allie. Hi, Savvy Addy. Hello, Snowfang. Hi, Maple Donut. You do more emotes than ever speaking, and I kind of love that. Allie, I hope you enjoy your side quest. Hello, Mister. Hello, sex. Which is gonna be the weirdest thing to say, but it flows so nicely. Hello, Stream Elements. I haven't fixed the lurk command yet, but hey, that's okay. Hello. I already said hello, Carmia. I said hello to Savvy Eddie. I said, oh, hi, Moxie. How you doing, Moxie? Hi, Pink. If Vanya's here, hello, Vanya, but Vanya might be sleeping. If Aura's here, hello, Aura. And if Pinky's here, hello, Pinky. My sister looked funny at me when she heard the good boy. I can call your sister a good girl instead if it makes her happier. I'm trying eyeshadow for the first time. I suck at makeup stuff. Do you believe in me? Of course I do. Of course I do. And when you do more makeup stuff, remember, do some foundation as well. You want to do a primer. A primer is going to help things stick a little bit better. So you're going to do a primer, you're going to do a foundation, and then you're going to lay on top of that. But also, make sure to do facial cleanser first. But for now... I won't do that. That's not fair. Can we refund Crucified on that one? If you do ever need, if you want to get some makeup tips, hit me up. I will definitely help you out. Not that I wear a lot of makeup. Actually, chat, I don't really ever wear any makeup. Why? Huh. Why do I know this? I think I have, concealer, maybe. Interesting. Anyways, so yeah, and usually that's all I really do. Oh my god, look at those emotes. I need more emotes, chat. Chat, make me a partnered streamer so I can get more emotes. That's all I want. Yeah, okay, fine, chat. I will do my makeup. I will do my makeup, and you'll totally know about it. I like knowing things, chat. That's it. That's it. And remember, like facial cleanser. And have a full facial routine, chat. It's very important. Especially those of you who don't have it. You want to look as good as you can for as long as you possibly can, right? All right. Hi, Desi. How you doing? Mwah. Hello, lovely. I hope you're doing well. See with your eye, you perceive with your mind, and that's in them. So I'ma stick around with Ross and be your mentor. For some new lines and motherfuckers will remember. But the bar is, I brought all this. Anyways. Wait, I don't wear makeup because of, you can't, Oh, well, I mean, like, yeah, I will. Gibbets, here. Skin routine is very important. I will walk you through, like we'll get you like a very base makeup routine if you are wanting to do any makeup, and we'll just get you like through the steps because you don't need to go extreme with it. I mean, technically, you can just do what is it? Brows, lashes, lips to do a kind of like just a framing of the face. But if you want to do something a little bit more, do primer, foundation, and then you do the additional stuff. Lashes definitely count as makeup. It is the recommendation of a makeup artist, also known as, God, what is his name? Who's the guy in Captain America? Not Captain America. Justice League, Marvel bullshit. Who has, no, is it DC? Marvel. Who shoots the arrows? Hawkeye! So yeah, the guy who is the actor of Hawkeye used to be a makeup artist. And that's like his number one like makeup routine for anybody who's just like trying to get ready for the day. Lips, lashes, brows. It's just enough to frame the face. He was a makeup artist. He was a professional makeup artist. Like he was on like so many different movies and like for like news anchors and stuff. Yeah. I'll refund it later because if I don't worry, we'll put a note. One second. Anyways, lovely. All of you are so very, very incredible. I hope you know that. And I'm here because I need y'all's help. Why is Discord not opening? Discord? Huh. Discord's down. Okay. Well. Interesting. Discord on PC is down, it looks like. Yep, guilds unavailability. We're investigating an issue where some guilds are unavailable to some members. Oh, I love Gorillaz. One of my all-time favorite bands, apparently. Apparently. It always has been. That's so fake of it. I know, right? It just says we're investigating an issue where some guilds are unavailable to some members. Why is it me? Why am I the member, huh? No, it's apparently just broken for some people. My mobile is working, but not all of them. Okay, lovely. So... Moss, what feels more natural here? You're going to do eyeshadow first, and you'll do mascara. Eyeshadow powder can end up on your lashes while you're doing the eyeshadows. And you don't want the powder to land on your lashes. Okay, you can still clean your lashes before you do the mascara. And if you are doing mascara, it's going to make it easier for the powder to stick to it. Anyways, you have fun with that. Okay, hi, Silvercharge. Right, chat. I have listened to it a few times. Okay, I need help deciding on my schedule. We know what I do in the morning. But chat, what did you like from last week? Hi, Silver, thank you for the raid. Thank you. We're going to actually get to test this out real quick. Shut up. Ah, it worked. Check that out, chat. Ah, look at that. Go check them out. What were you doing? What were you doing? Let's see. Actually, I can see now. Checking out. They played Just Chatting. How was the Just Chatting? Was it cool? Was it fun? Watch me as I gravitate. Ah, ha, 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 ha. But hello, Raiders. My name's LuckyJene. I'm a gambler, a writer, a flirt, and right now we're trying to figure out my schedule. You enjoy Jackbox and watching stupid videos? Okay. I like it too. So let's figure this out. Today, we're gonna do whatever. Did y'all like Red Dead? Did y'all like Red Dead with crowd control? Playing Peek and then chatted? Ooh, that's fun. I might do Peek. All right, you like Red Dead with it? Oh, I'm going to refund Crucified when I have a chance. Hello, Golden Heart. Thank you for the follow. I just need to let the mods know, but unfortunately, there's no mods here. Oh, Aura! Can you refund Crucified, by the way? Yes, but if I do Peek, I need to get, like, a collab going. And, like, Keeper's already done their schedule for the week. So maybe I can do it next week? Actually, you know what, chat? Maybe, do we want to try it? I might do a solo Peek. I might do a solo thing with crowd control just to see how it is. And then we can invite somebody. All right, 1 second. I'm going to eat a chicken nugget real quick. Okay. We might do Red Dead today. I want more time to do Red Dead. Let's see. Okay, let's do Peek at some point. We obviously need to do Just Chatting because we do Just Chattings. Wait, like a mumble? What do I mumble? I don't mumble ever. I've never mumbled in my entire life. I don't know what you're talking about, chat. I don't mumble at all. If you think I mumble, you're just a liar. You know that, chat? You're just a liar. Oh. You know, that might be sick. It's been years, literal years, since I played a single game with Leon. It has probably been more time than LuckyJene has existed that I played games with Leon. Yes, I am. Oh, thank you, Aura. The mumbling gives you ASMR tingles. Ooh. Oh, yeah, no, dating advice. So we are waiting on the form. Once we get the form, that's probably going to be like a 2-week process. Thank you, Silver. Thank you so much. Mwah. I appreciate it. Okay. Tomorrow, let's do Red Dead. I think tomorrow for Red Dead's going to be great, right? We'll see if we can hit up Leon sometime this week. And I can always change out something later on to see if Leon would be up to doing just like a duo RPG. RPG could be fun. Hello, Spell. Hi. Okay, Red Dead. What RPGs do I have? Let's take a look real quick. Chat, if there's an RPG that I say that you really like, let me hear it, okay? We ready? All right, we have... Okay, that's not really RPG. That's not RPG. That's not RPG enough. We could do the Stanley Parable, the second one, the newer Stanley Parable. That looks like a lot of fun. We could do the new Oblivion. I saw someone doing Peek ASMR. Peek ASMR? How the hell does that work? We could do Fable. I used to love Fable back in the day. You know, Stanley Parabola? Cool. And I'll call it Stanley the Parabola the entire time. Honey Pop. I'm so glad you survived the side mission. I'm proud of you. I guess we could do Mass Effect, but I don't know how good Mass Effect would be. God, do I just not like RPGs anymore? I'm looking at all these games, I'm just like, I don't want to play any of these. Yeah, no, I can't do Honey Pop on stream, unfortunately. Not yet, not yet. Not until we open up one of those, secret accounts. World of Horror. We could do World of Horror. Have y'all ever seen World of Horror? She pulled me into the bath. Yakuza. But that's not really an RPG one. Maybe we'll do World of Horror. I haven't done World of Horror in a while. We'll do World of Horror. I think that one would be fun, where y'all can actually make choices and stuff. Yakuza? I could do Yakuza. I've been meaning for years to play Yakuza 0. And just do all the side missions and shiz. Random indie horror game? Okay, yes. So here's the plan. Let's do Red Dead Crowd Control. Let's do Yakuza Wednesday. Then Thursday we will do... Then Thursday we're going to do Red Dead again, because I do want to actually beat Red Dead. We're going to try to beat Red Dead. It's going to be our game. Oh my god, where's Pinky? I beat Resident Evil 4, chat. Everyone's like, no, Gene doesn't finish games. Gene doesn't finish games. Gene doesn't finish games. I beat Resident Evil 4, chat. I beat Resident Evil 4, chat. You were there. Yes, I beat Resident Evil 4. See? Pomo, that's not the point. Pomo, that's not the point. And I bet Beat still makes the deep. Look at that. 2 games. 2 games. We're not going to count like the really indie horror games because everybody beats those, but 2 games, chat. 2 games. Huzzah. Okay, so here's what we are. I'm off Twitch and Twitter over the weekend. So you will not be here on the weekend? Yes, I'll definitely do Cracker Island. Oh no. Oh yeah, it's Discord's broken right now. Hi, Irene Devlin. Hi, Amdis. All right. So, what were you saying? Were you wanting something specific? Were you wanting to see something specific, Snowy? Was there which game were you wanting? Well, so far nothing is on the weekend. Friday we're gonna do Stanley. Oh, okay, cool. Sunday's gonna be community night, I think, or Sunday or Saturday for community night, chat. What are y'all feeling? Saturday? And then should we make Sunday just a chill, like let's watch YouTube and hang out? I might get like super drunk, that way I can fall asleep. And yeah, Sunday seems like Sunday's a finish off the week, start the week with some hanging out and chilling. Okay, perfect, love it. We got our schedules, chat. Ah, God, I love you all so much. This is fun. I like sitting here and coming up with a schedule with you. And I'm thinking we're gonna try to do. Now, hear me out, chat. We're gonna try to do sorry, anyways, I got distracted. Okay, what were we doing? What were we talking about? Right. This was fun. This was a lot of fun coming up with coming up with the schedule. I'm I'm wanting to do that drawing game, Gardic Phone. Meet me by required place. You will definitely get it. Give me 1 second. But we'll see how well we can do that. Like, because I kind of want to make it, opened up to everybody, but it would have to kind of be in the Discord for chatting. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll open up to everybody. Maybe we won't. All right. Are you ready? And Sunday's going to be media night, by the way, chat. And here's the plan for media night, chat. Do you know what we're going to do? I'm going to make a channel in the Discord, but you can submit it to me anywhere, whether it's on Twitter, and be like, it's going to be like hashtag Gene Video Night. It's going to be like Lucky Media Night. We'll do it Lucky Media Night. Hashtag Lucky Media Night. And y'all can send videos in, and you can send like little clips and stuff, and we'll just hang out and watch some stuff together, okay? Sundays will be media night. We can catch up on all of your TikToks and Twitters together. Hello, Agante. Hello, Damon. How you doing? Perfect. Sweet. And that's going to be, what day is that? Hello, Molly May. How you doing? Callist. By the way, here's the praise. Callist, you're so very, very lovely. You are, honestly, genuinely, one of the coolest people that I've met, especially in the recent times. I've loved having you here in my community and getting to see you here and in the Discord and wherever you are. And I'm excited to see all the stuff you're going to do. I want you to post more pictures of cool shit. That way I can see it and I can be more excited about the stuff you do. You're just so lovely. Absolutely incredible. I appreciate you so very, 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 very much. You're wonderful. Okay? Mod thing is being posted tonight. Mod applications will be on Twitter, on the Discord, and I'll be promoting him for about a week. So once we have all of our submissions, yeah. Then that's going to be a thing. 9th. Until... I'll have to figure out what's going on then. I do apologize for that. We'll figure it out. I'm surprised I haven't pissed off the people who base their weeks on the start being Sunday, because have you guys noticed my schedules begin Monday? Okay. I'm going to praise Desi? Okay, I'll just praise Desi then. Desi, lovely, come here. Desi, sweetie. You are very, very kind. You are so very lovely. And you are such an incredible sponsor of this stream, not just through money, but through ideas and creativity. I have loved having you here, and getting to know you and getting to meet you has been just an absolute, incredible, wonderful experience. I look forward to getting to know you more as time passes. Thank you so much for being as amazing as you are. Thank you, Desi. Desi does take good care of the chat. All right, go to sleep, Callist. And Saturday's morning is going to be TBD, but I think we're just going to do more ASMR. We're just going to do always ASMR in the mornings, because it's just easier that way. And Mondays are now D&D ASMR yapping. All right, thank you, chat, for helping me figure out the schedule. That will be posted later today. It's kind of crazy to me how much people liked the yapping this morning. Because, like, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Do you want me to teach you how to... we can make a special day. I can even show... Wait, I don't understand what the second emote is. Where are you going at, Go? Don't go anywhere. Mwah. I can definitely do a teaching D&D thing. Maybe I'll do that on a different day, though. We'll make that a Friday. How does Friday sound for that? Hello, hello. Thank you so much for the follow. Perfect. Yeah. That works. Okay, cool. Let me just export these things real quick. And now the other part. Doom. And where'd it go? There it is. And I know enough about D&D to teach people. You don't really need to know a lot about D&D to teach it. And I look forward to teaching you all, chat. I'll teach you everything I know. All right. Well, I'm very glad to hear that. I hope you enjoy your time here. Hi, friend. Okay, Friday mornings is going to be learn how to play D&D. Monday morning is going to be a recap of my previous D&D session. And then the rest is going to be just general ASMR gaming and normal ASMR. And then we'll swap to gaming on the evenings as we always do. And the schedule currently is Monday is going to be, well, we don't know. It's, I guess, whatever. I'm just going to call it, yeah, I do ASMR every morning at 5 or 3:30 a.m. MST. 5:30 for you people on the East Coast. Mm-hmm. And we do have some scripts being currently written for us, which we'll be doing very, 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 very soon, as well as a sleep paralysis sleep aid. For those of you who do suffer from sleep paralysis, it's going to be very reaffirming and be like, hey, everything's fine. You're awake now. That kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Your time zone is ending me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, chat. If I could live in every time zone, I would. I would stream 24/7 if I could. But unfortunately, I need to make enough money to live. For now, chat, one day they will upload my consciousness onto a robot and then I don't have to work. Hi, Teddy Bear. Okay, so we're doing Red Dead tomorrow, right? But, like, what if we do Red Dead today as well? Just maybe. Oh no, I haven't fixed all the settings yet. Damn it, I need to do that still. Or we could do it. I don't know. I don't know, chat. Let me see what we have. Maybe I have something else that's going to fit us better. Kind of something that's more of a vibe. What do you think, Sex? Sex, what should we play? Sex, you're new here. What do you think I should play? I'm putting you on the spot, Sex. Sex VT. Is it too much pressure? I feel you. Okay. I've already beat... Oh, I did beat Slay the Princess. That was fun. They're just too lucky is what they are. Kiss for chat. Mwah! That's what they redeemed. The only problem with Red Dead right now is that I don't have it set up to do any of the redeems. It only has the overlay set up. I mean, I guess, okay, you know what? I'm going to go in real quick. We're going to see if we can get this set up. I'm not doing the forest right now. As fun as that was, I don't want to just be tormented for an hour. All right, I'm gonna look at Red Dead real quick. One sec. Okay. Here we go. Where is Red Dead? Let Neeson you... No! I don't think y'all have enough money to harass me all the time. Okay, enjoy your lurkin, enjoy your lurkin. Rocksmith. Rocksmith crowd control? Wait, Rocksmith crowd control? What is Rocksmith crowd control? Oh, never mind, it doesn't work. Okay, well, that sucks. Have you all ever heard of Rocksmith? Rocksmith is a game that you can learn musical instruments with. I think it's really, really cool. But yeah. But apparently it's broken now. Okay, we're going to customize some prices here real quick, chat. We're going to do channel rewards. Ambush. Okay, we're going to add a bunch of random high-priced stuff as well. Okay, give me another few seconds here. That'll work. Someone needs to go to Leia Pantheros and just steal all their settings from me. All right. What else do we have here? That'll do. And all right. I put a bunch of random stuff in, but remember, most of the effects are going to be tied to the what's it called? What I'm looking for the words here. To the overlay on the stream. So you'll have more effects that way. Remember that. Okay? I got this, chat. All right, I'm going to mute while I get this finished, and then we'll be going. All right, sorry, I'm actually here now. Hi, 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 hi. Did you miss me? Did you miss me? Did you miss me? I missed you. Did you miss me? I missed you, chat. All right, we're gonna start the session in just a second. You ready? 3, 2, 1, and you can break my game now. Let's go. I didn't miss. You didn't. You did. You did miss me. You didn't. You did miss me. What do you mean you didn't miss me? What am I? No, it's okay. Why am I even here if nobody missed me? It's just, oh, Moxie missed me. Okay, Moxie missed me. At least one person missed me. Everybody else might hate me, but Moxie cares about me. Thank you. I know you didn't, Aura, but if you did miss me, then there would be a problem. You missed me a little bit. You only like me because I give you makeup tips. That's all it is.
We're gonna starve to death up here, Mr. Morgan.
No.
Okay. We have a few cans of food and
Wait.
for what, 10, 12 people?
Chat, do you remember this?
I was in the Navy. I do not
Is the screen flashing?
what you got up to in the Navy, Mr. Pearson. We were stranded at sea.
Oh, sorry. Never mind.
And you unfortunately survived. When we ran away from Blackwater, I wasn't able to get supplies in. But when government agents are hunting you down,
Yeah, no, it started. It's. Why are there more horses? Why are there more horses? Just horses. All right, let me see if I can fix this real quick. We're gonna do a little thing, and we're gonna mix this a little bit. Give me a second. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Chat, you're kind of blocking my screen right now. Could you move just a little bit? Just can you scooch over a little? Scooch over. Chat, can you scooch over a little? Chat, can you just scooch over a little bit? Can you just scooch? Just tiny bit, little bit. No, a little bit more. A little bit more, chat. How many people actually scooched? How many people actually scooched? I want to know how many of you scooched. Be honest. Be honest. If you actually scooched, you have to tell me. Was it nobody? I always miss you lie. How dare you? All right, where is it? Windowed borderless. Why would I not have that on? Not even a little? Yes. I love you all. I love you all so very much. You are all the best. I hope you all know that. All right, we're good. You did buy a few horses, I noticed. Why are there more horses? Where are you going? Man. You do what you told. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Comfy, I'm not moving. Fair enough. Actually, chat. I need you to. Can you just scooch again? Like down a little bit. Can you like scooch down? Left, a little left. Okay, we're just gonna. This, yeah. I think that should work. Okay, perfect. There you are. Good spot.
are you holding up, Charles?
Damn it. Nope. Sorry. Wrong spot. We're gonna have to adjust this again. Okay. Sorry, chat. We're just gonna.
It'll be fine in a day or two.
Just gonna.
Sure.
Okay.
Never really got the hang of it. You'll be fine. Come on, we should keep moving.
A little bit more. Just a little bit more. A little bit more. Almost. There you go. Good job. I'm proud of you. Oof. Yeah, no, it's probably gonna be the best it's gonna get. It's best it's gonna get. It's fine.
We're gonna find something to kill. It ain't
This game also has a one hit.
There's meat up here for sure.
Don't.
Now the weather's eased off a bit, they'll be needing to feed.
I'm sorry. I'm also eating my dinner right now, chat. I had to munch a little bit. I'll try to mute. I'll try to remember to mute. If I don't mute, just let me know, okay? You can just be like, yo, Gene, you little bitch boy. You little bitch boy, you haven't muted. You little bitch boy. How about you just let Chessie... You know what? Hi, Link's the bug. The fight NPC button doesn't work? Oh, well, probably not yet because there is nobody... Like, this is an NPC. This is like one of the group people. You're probably going to have to wait until there's other NPCs around me.
You've had a lot put on you. I wish I could have done more. I didn't mean to let
Yeah, wait until we're in town.
to think back on.
Grab your phone. I believe in you.
Know what happened on that boat? Me neither.
Yes, chat. You can sit on my lap. Just come sit on my lap. It's fine.
You sure weren't good.
Did one of you take my bottle opener? Yeah, go get your phone. Come back. Go get your phone and come back. You're for your kitty house. What do you mean your kitty house? You don't want to sit on my okay. Delicious, delicious. So we're gonna mix a little apple shoju with the rest of my Coke, which is gonna be absolutely delicious. And by a little apple soju, I mean, oh yeah, it is in the basement. Chat, yeah, no, just go check out in the basement. Go back in the basement, chat. You know you like the basement. No, back in the basement. Oh, Aura, if you're still here. Hi, Aura. My hat changed? Has my hat been changing? I keep seeing redeems and I'm like, nothing's happening. Okay. What was I gonna say, chat? Don't throw your phone. Stay. Chat, I was gonna say something, but I forgot. What was I gonna say? Help me, chat. Oh, Aura, the shout out button works now. You can do !SO and it will shout out. You can then like type in the name and it will properly shout out people now. I fixed it. I made sure it worked. Oh.
There's deer been here. Recently. How can you tell? How can you not? Let's walk it from here. You're gonna need the boat. Gun will scare everything around. Well, there's no point setting off without that bow. Quiet as you can. Stay low and move slowly.
Damn it. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you for... Hi, Vanya. No. I know what you said, but I'm getting beat up. Let me fight. Let me fight. What is going... No. I can't. No. Fucking... No. You froze me. You froze me. What the hell? I couldn't. You're kidding. You're kidding, right? All right, Arthur. Sorry, get off your horse. Okay, get really quiet. And why are there women around us, Arthur? Why are they beating you, Arthur? It's fine, Arthur. You just deserve to be beep. Anyways. Eyes of a be vibing. Hello, Lisa Latte. Can we get a... Did you freeze me again? I think it. Oh no. Oh, let me follow. Can I not be God damn it! God damn it! I'm trying so hard. Hello, Lilith Queen Billoway. How you doing? I think I'm just stuck here now, chat. I can't get off the horse. No, let me off the horse. I want to get We've done it. We've done it. Why are you trying to lick? Who's got a lick command? Why is the sudden accident here? Don't question it. Why? That's amazing. That's amazing. Hi, Vanius. How you doing, by the way? Can we get a shout out for the... Oh, we already did. There we go. What? Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
You see the tracks?
I think so. Maybe not.
Focus.
I'm doing good now that I can see a stream. All right. I like that. There we go, chat. Fighting you about NPCs is not going to work until they're on NPCs. That one doesn't count as an NPC. You're going to have to wait until we get into... Said free. No, stop it. No, let me fight back. I can't do this. Hello, Hannah. How you doing? I'm doing some very, very amazing right now. I'm just trying not to stop freezing me. I'm getting beat by women. Stop hitting. No, damn it. I can't move. Please, God damn it, let me. There you go. Keep missing. All right. Damn it, where'd she come from? I can't see. Why are there more of them? Somebody help me. Oh God. Oh God, damn, that was gruesome. All right. Oh no. I'm trying. God damn it. All right, I have an idea, chat. Y'all gave me something earlier. We're gonna see if I can pull it out. There it is. No, drop the dynamite. Don't hold it. Why are you holding it? No, release it. Stop letting her beat you. She's just doing it over and over. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. I mean, eventually you're gonna run out of money.
Stop here a second. I see something.
You better not be refunding yourselves. If I find out you've been refunding yourselves, I'm gonna come for you. Don't you dare. And yes, I would love a cinnamon pretzel. I think a cinnamon pretzel would help me. Doggone it, come on. Or how many points do you have? You know what? I'm going to remove Explode Player. I'm removing Explode Player. Fine, I'm increasing the price. I'm increasing the price of Explode Player.
Hey, stop here a second. I see something.
Y'all want me to make some progress, right? I need to go get the bow.
These deer been here recently.
I'm gonna succeed eventually. I'm gonna succeed eventually. Oh my god, the outfit changed. That was insane.
Quiet as you can. Stay low and move slowly.
Yeah. Come on. Say it. Say the words.
I think so. Maybe not.
Did y'all just make a storm? There it is. All right, focus on tracks. Here we go. That was a person, chat. I thought that was a deer. Vanya, what do you mean? I saw you, Vanya. Thank you for the random clothes, by the way. What's up, Bora? What'd you say? What's up, Bora? Oh, god damn it. Not this again.
Mister.
We're fine. I can't do shoot people. You're trying to stop me. Does it not work? Wait a second. She looks upset. It does work, chat. It does work. It works. It works, chat. It works. Oh my god, what is my hairstyle? Chat, who did this to our man? Who did this to him? Who thought that was a good idea for the hairstyle?
Wait, look. There they are.
Where are they?
Ready with that bow?
Where you seen them, buddy? Wait a second, chat. Y'all gotta get out of my fucking way. These ladies! They're making the deal run! How dare you, chat? Y'all making the deal run. What is she doing here? Oh god! Not this again! Damn it! Alright, we're swapping guns. What do you mean? I don't have a choice! There's so many of them! Why did it blow up? What do you mean? God, that one was Lilith this time. God damn it, Lilith. I'm trying so hard. I am trying so hard, champ. One day I'll make it. One day we'll make it. All the way. But until that day. Okay. Here we go again. Here we go again. By the way, chat. By the way, I have yet to see the deer. So here's what we're going to do, chat. We're going to grab this. We're going to go grab the bow right immediately. All right? Pick it up. 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 What's the bow for the bow? But stop talking. Pick it up. Oh, there we go. Got it. Y'all better not try to take my bow. I don't know if you can take my bow, but don't you dare. They're going to all be here, aren't they? Oh my God, chat. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
I think so. Maybe not.
We're going to wait for stamina. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Why is my stamina? Did y'all eat my stamina, chat? I think y'all ate my stamina, didn't you? Infinite stamina? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Where is he? Keep an eye on him. He's gotta be here somewhere. Come on, where are they? Aha. That way. What is happening? I don't know why I wouldn't. Oh, shit, deer. No, deer. No! No, I'm trying to hunt. Stop it. Let me hunt. Why are you doing this, chat? Why are you so mean to me? Fuck your stamina. Don't take my stamina, chat. I need my staminas. All right. No. All right. Stop it. Come on, come on, come on. I need a little more stamina. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Come on out. Come on, baby girl. There he is, chat. There he is, chat. All right, you ready, chat? Nice and quiet. Got it. All right. Anyways, chat, I'm focused on you again. How y'all doing? You doing good? Y'all having fun? Y'all having fun? Love y'all so very, very, very much. I hope y'all have been. Wait, what's the first deer? Which deer am I grabbing? Where's the deer? There it is. Found it. All right. Welcome back, Moxie. Missed you. Snowfang, congratulations on coming back on the Mads. Are y'all gonna explode me? Because y'all waited until last time. Y'all waited until I got the carcass back, and then y'all exploded me. I want some cinnamon pretzels. Did you say you ran out of points? Did you run out of points, Aura? Or did you run out of points? You wait for. Oh God. You sure? Chat, you sure? All right. What are you waiting for, Hannah? Thank you for the heals. I appreciate it. All right, we're actually gonna make it this time. We're gonna make it. I'll find out. All right, all right. Thank you, chat. I'm doing good with my health right now.
Ready to head back when you are.
Oh, yeah, God, I know, Ocean. You could. Ah, why am I not moving? What's happening? What? Oh, God, there's so many stuff coming in at once. Oh, thank you for the leg, Vanya. Mwah. You be good, all right? I think it's... Got all the stuff's going through at once. Come on. Come on. I'm trying. What the hell? Oh my God, there's the ambush. Oh God, no, move. Move! Don't freeze me, What? No. Stop it. I think the problem is, chat, if one person redeems freeze play and another person redeems launch, freeze prevents launch. Y'all can cancel them out. Stop freezing me. Stop it. They're trying to get to me. They're trying to get there. Oh, don't make him get up. Get back on your horse. God, they're hunting me. Keep going. Damn it. Why are you agitating my horse? Come on. We got this. Freeze, player. Are we gonna freeze again? Alright. Wait. Oh, Jesus! What the hell was... That thing barely missed me! I think y'all overwhelming it, chat. You gotta give it a second. Give it a second. It was a possum. It's a possum. I believe it. Oh, there's the freeze. There's the agitate. Hey, we're gonna do this real quick. Give me a second while we I'm gonna end session real quick. And then we're gonna start session. There we go. Jesus. All right. Oh, do you, Ocean? I think it might also be some of these video sequences where it slows down and stops. Awesome's all adorable. Why am I still doing Southern? Okay, we're back. All right. I've not been paying attention to what these men have been talking about. Chat, have you been paying attention? Because I keep seeing all this stuff happening to my left. It makes me worried. Gene, you're adorable. Thank you. I like to be. Are we just... How far away is this place? How far away is this? I don't want to go all this way. Oh, it's a bear. Chat, should I fight the bear? Chat, do I fight the bear? Chat, do I try to fight the bear? Oh, damn it. Why are you knocking me over? You killed him! You killed him, chat. Alright, chat, I got this. We're gonna fight the bear. Oh. Yeah, go away. I'm trying to fight a bear. Stop talking. I want to shoot a bear. No, let me fight the bear. Let me fight the bear. Come on. I don't care. Too bad the ambush ain't gonna work. I wish he would not spend so much time talking. If he just did not spend so much time talking, we would be out of here. Ladies. Ladies. I can't because he's talking too much. Hello, ladies. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Yeah, no. He's not a. You know, we gotta kill the chicken. Let's go. I like this game a lot. I hate getting stuck in these stupid those sequences where it's like, I need to go with you and you gotta walk with me. I'm just like, oh. You okay? No. If you do not get on your horse, I will kill you. Get on your horse. Get on your horse. Get on your fucking horse. Get on your horse. Get on your horse. Get on your horse. I'm gonna pick up your deer. I'll pick up your deer. Okay, you pick up your deer. Get on your horse. We're not doing this again. We're not doing this again. Get on your horse. Get on your horse. I will kill you. Get on your horse. I will kill you. Get on your horse. This is your fault. I hope you know this is your fault. I could have... Where is he going? Like I said, this is your fault. Oh, I turned it off. We're gonna try this again. It's okay. I know you're an idiot. I know that once you fall off your horse, you never know how to walk again, but like, come on, man. Come on, man. This is your fault. We could have made it. It's right there. Pick up the damn deer. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick up the deer. Pick up the deer. Why'd you turn it off? Fucking drop the... Oh, God. Chat, it won't let me throw the dynamite. I don't think the game knows that I can throw dynamite. You're headed the wrong way. Fuck it. This is so difficult. I want to kill myself. Kill me, chat. Let me die. Let me die. Where is it? There we go. Okay, do you want to... Yeah, let's look around to see there's no way to get around this fuck-ass bear. It's right there. He's fucking... No. Oh, thank God. Okay. Yeah, bears suck. Come on. Come on. I hate this man. I hate this man so much. I hate this man so much, chat. Him and his stupid deers. You fucking deers. You gotta... Yeah, my... Don't... Okay. Every time you spawn one of those crowds, chat, I panic. Don't you dare launch him. Don't you dare launch him. I'm watching you right now. I'm watching you. You stay right there. Keep the hand off the button. Don't you fucking... No. Hey, hand. Keep it down. Keep your hand off. You do whatever you need to do with your hands, Chad. If it's as long as it's not hitting that stupid fucking... Okay, give me money. I'll take the money. No! 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 Ah! This fuck ass horse. Well, shit, you're a fucking bear. You fucking bear. Well, there's also a bunch of fucking women. Look at all these women. You, chat, personally are repopulating the entirety of America. You guys are causing a population boom with the amount of just random fucking ladies you're spawning. There's more. Every time I turn, it has to load in more women. And I'm watching you, sir. I'm gonna watch you, sir. I'm gonna kill every single horse in this game if you don't make it out of here. Freeze player. I don't think it works when I'm on a horse. There we go. Freezing doesn't work on a horse. We've learned. I have to be off the horse. I'm watching chat. You haven't broken me yet. I'm still good. No, thank you. Allie, I love you. Allie, I love you. Allie, you're the best. You're the, why did my screen just change? Okay, I'm not. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Moxie. Echo, I refuse. I refuse to calm down. You're gonna have to deal with this. You're gonna have to deal with this panic. Come on. It suits me too. I changed my hat. Can I see my hat, chat? Do you want to give me a new hat? Give me a cool outfit. Let's see something cool. Let's get something different in here. That way I feel a little bit more unique. Thank you for the new hat. I appreciate it. Thank you for the hydrate. How you doing, Pink? Mwah. You can get the stretch. It's so close. How far away? Ah, shit, it's so far. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to talk about it sometime, Pink? You can always, you can always hit me up with DMs. We got like our stuff to talk about anyways, so I'll be there. Come on. We got this, chat. I'm gonna make it. It's so cold. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess the eject from. I don't think this counts as a vehicle. I'm a stretching. You broke your neck? You broke your neck?
She's a strong one. It's been as hard on the horses as on the rest of us. I don't know what Dutch would do if something happened to the Count.
All right.
Same with Bill and Brown Jack. He's a drunk, miserable bastard, but he loves that horse.
I hope they all make it.
I tried to ride the Count once.
All right, here we go. We got this. We got this, chat. We got this.
Won't take nobody but him.
Checkpoint. 1 second. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. All right. No. Stay alive. Yeah, grab it. Why are you pooping? On me? Put it down. Thank God. Yes. Woo! Ha ha ha!
Do my utmost to avoid. He loves me, really. It's his sad way of showing affection.
We did it, chat.
Now shoot, get lost. See you gents later.
See, you got on just fine. Charles is a wonder.
Have a drink, boys.
You earned it. Jesus, what is that?
Navy rum, sir. It's the only
The only thing. Keeps you sane, it does.
Good luck, Echo.
You go rest that hand, Charles. You'll be fine in a few days. Mind helping me with the skinning, Mr. Morgan? It's easier if we do it together. Do I get to skin you? You're always one with the jokes, aren't you? Come on.
This really isn't a job for a man with a burnt hand. I'll see you both later.
You skinned that one, didn't you? Dumped on
Thank you for the heal. You better let me skin it. You better let me skin it, chat. Don't. We're so close. We're so close to getting this. Skin it fast. Skin it quickly before they do something. They might blow up the fucking deer or something. Well, he's really good at this. There's no way it's that easy.
that, Mr. Morgan. Yeah.
Why is the screen flashing?
Said you were a butcher. You know, you could trade these or sell these pretty much any town if you're looking to make the...
Why does the screen keep flashing?
Right now, I'm just looking to get off this mountain alive. Well, if you catch anything else, you bring it.
Chat, I need to check on settings real quick. I think it might be like a refresh rate or something. Oh, why is refresh rate set to 240? That doesn't... No. Huh? Yeah, 1 second. All right, chat. VSync off. Triple buffering. Okay, we're gonna be good. Talkies, as in like the thing. Hi, Goth. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Nice, nice. I'm proud of you, Gibbets.
Heck, Arthur Morgan's first decent bit of hunting after all these years. We're on the run now. Everyone's got to do their bit.
Oh, talkies, not talkies. Talkies. T-A-K-I. Hi, Vampire. How you doing? Hi, hi. Yeah. Glad to hear. Glad to hear.
Been a bad few weeks.
Oh no, Hallie.
Being Dutch, he is busy making plans.
All right, chat. A D20 to roll what's going to happen next. Ready? 15. And an 8. Ooh, that's actually really good.
Well, I thought you was reading him his last rites. Now I see you're introducing him to your other patient.
I'll mind you to show me some respect, Mr. Morgan.
Mind away, Reverend.
Mm-hmm.
Still here then? I owe you. Yeah. And you'll pay me. But for the moment, just rest.
Of course, Vampire. Glad I can help.
I think it's time for the train.
Take it easy.
Of course I do, but look at it. It's just a scratch. Lie still, son. Hello, Abigail.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie.
The boy.
Sounds like I'm snoring. What do you mean?
Now, what's left of me?
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Guess I was hoping to see a corpse.
Bide your time.
Okay, here we go.
Plenty of them.
You're a rotten man, John.
Stinky. Stinky.
We're living. Look at me.
Stinky, chat. Stinky. Stinky. Why are you so stinky, chat? Hi, Neeks. Mwah. Hi, Neeks. 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 Hi. You know, I'm surprised how many people like sniffing noises. No, so do people actually like sniffing noises? What is? Echo, Echo, such a good girl, such a good girl. That could be. Neeks, can I be honest with you, Neeks? I did miss you while you were gone, and I'm very glad you're back. I was worried that you're just never coming back. And, you ever like, you know when you have like a dog and the dog is like at the door and it cries the entire time because it's just like they're never coming back ever again. My family's gone forever. I'm gonna be alone forever. That is how I felt when you left, Neeks. Wait, were we robbing a train? We're robbing a train! Ah! We're gonna rob a train! We're gonna rob a train. We're gonna rob a train. I'm gonna rob a train. Cinderella. Oh my god, look at the new clothes! Oh, why does he look good? Oh! Oh! Ah, I love the love it. Love the loose dress shirt. Ah. Clean. Clean. Arthur, sir, put it away. Put away the full on snack. Good one, Mitchie. Mitchie, that was a good one. Good choice, good choice. Oh god, Arthur's hot. Arthur's hot, chap. Can we just all agree that Arthur's just so damn hot? Look how fine that man is next to everybody else. True, true, true. Yes. Everybody else is all dressed up though, and he's just like, you know what? I just need to wear less stuff. I just need to wear less stuff here, chat. I'm just gonna, oof. Just leave him like this. Arthur should be on your list. And chat, remember, no spoilers for this game. Anyway, sorry. If I tried, I could get my voice to sound like Arthur. I want to learn it. I want to learn it. I want to learn how to do his voice. If I could learn how to do it, I would, but I don't know it at all yet. I mean, I could try my best, but that's all I can do. He's so hot. You know what they say, chat? Hoes don't get cold. Hoes don't get cold. Yeah, you see, my voice ain't raspy enough, chat. I can't do it. I can't do raspy. It's the best I can do. It's the best I can do, chat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll try one more. I'll try eventually. Maybe. That's why you wear shorts in the winter. Shorts all winter. I'm a hoe, I'm always cold. You don't get cold enough then. Yeah, a friend told you that, huh? Is that what a friend said? I mean, if your friend really wants to hear more of it, tell him to come find me. You smoke cigars and cheap whiskey? I mean, I can do it. Slow down and get that draw. Want me to slow it down? My friend said stop. Why? Why should I ever stop? It's some hoes in this house. What are we doing? Man, I was not paying attention. Can I steal your voice? For a little bit. You can borrow it. You just ragged on me. Girl. I could do the voice of the one actor from Minecraft that plays the principal that ends up with the villager. You are so guilty of that frequent focal fry. I mean, your friend? Why are you in bed with your friend? Wait, are we waiting for a train? Boop. Boop. What are we doing? Oh. I guess we're just waiting then. All right. Come on, chat. Should we just wait here together then? Nice and patient. God, I wonder if there's a way to speed this up at all, but I'm guessing there ain't. I'm just gonna sit here and wait. And wait. And wait. Well, nothing ever happens. Y'all, if y'all wanna wait here instead of me, I'm just gonna walk away, alright? Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, the friend on your bed is Mango? Well, tell Mango she can come sit up on my lap. I'll treat your cat very nicely. Launch on. These don't count as NPCs, chat. Alright, here we go. Well then. Woo! Chat, I'm gonna go find it. I'll be back. Chat, I'm gonna go find the train. Oh, you think it's the other way? Chad, if you were a train, where would you be? Haha. I know. How you doing? Wait, am I supposed to be doing something? Alright, chat, I'm gonna grab some eye drops real quick because my contacts are a little bit dry. Maybe I'll take my contacts out. What do you think? Where are my glasses? Which one of you took my glasses again? Could somebody tell me where they put my glasses? Give me a minute here. I'm gonna go grab my glasses, be right back, alright? Behave yourselves. Give me like 3 minutes, okay? Mwah. All right, chat. While I could not find my glasses, I did, however, find my eye drops. So we can keep going for a little bit longer. Let's keep going, chat. What the? That ain't. What am I doing here? I'm not supposed to be here. Which one of you? Fuck. What? Why am I here? Who took me here? All right, I need to find. I gotta get new glasses, chat. Hi there, Palmo. All right, there we go. I do.
Is Bill there?
Well, Venus, I ain't have time to do my laundry yet. Oh my God, Chet, I was supposed to go check on Bill. I did a little laundry last night, but I did not do enough. Y'all, like, you should wait. You should be Velma for Halloween.
How you getting on?
I mean, no, I would.
I'm okay.
You sure?
Of course.
Can I help a little?
All right. Go ahead.
Hello, Dory. He said, go ahead, Chet. He said, go ahead. I did it. He said, go ahead. He said, go ahead. You can't get mad at me for that one. He said, go ahead. Go ahead.
Bill there? Yeah. You want to head down? See how he's getting on? Okay.
Bet. Anyways.
How you getting on?
How you getting on? Great. Falls over.
Go ahead and set up the
Okay, sure.
It was my only choice, chat. It was my only choice. It was my only choice, chat. It was my only choice. I didn't have any other choices, chat. I couldn't do anything else. There's an ambush. You. Hello, my lovely. Sing? What do you mean sing? Sing? Jackie blowing away. Wow! Well, she gone. Chat, unfortunately for you, I've decided to be a problem. You must bounce on it, crazy style. You must bounce on it, crazy style. Ah, fucking. Oh God! Why did I? What the fuck was that? Fuck. You want me to say it again? What the fuck? Okay. Oh, Dad. You want me to say it again? You must bounce on it. Crazy style. There you go.
around, see how he's getting on.
I'm itchy. Mwah. All right, we're gonna go check on Bill. Mitchy, 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 Mitchy. All right. Mitchy more. Love me, 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 love me more than you ever. Da, 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 da. I hope you know that you're making me like the most evil person in this entire world. Because these are all considered good people. These are all considered good people. Mitchy, 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 Mitchy. Shotgun, 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 shotgun. It's on the horse! Oh, thank God. Oh. Women. Am I right? Mitchy. 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 My puppy says hi. Hi, puppy.
You sure?
Of course.
Can I help a little?
All right.
I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it again. I got it.
Set up the detonator by this box.
Fine, Mitchy. You're gonna have to teach me how to do it, okay?
Just unspool the wire and then attach it to said detonator.
Go and walk me through how to do it, Mitchy. How do I do it? Never. I don't hate you, Vanya. You know I love you. We're gonna rob a train now. We're gonna rob a train now. We're gonna rob a train now, and it's going to be great. Liebe, Liebe, Liebe. Komm hier, meine Liebe.
Okay, this is good.
What the What the fuck? She didn't even fight me. She just insulted my dressing sense. What? What the she just came out of nowhere and goes, your mother teach you how to dress like that? God, that's fucking crazy. Your mother teach you how to dress like that? She punched me in my emotions, Chad. I don't know how I feel about that one. That's a bit rough, honestly.
What's going on? He says all fine. We'll soon find out.
Your mother teach you to dress like that? Like, really? Oh my god. Wait, what? Or the crowd contributed 68% of the pool for spawn control. What does that mean? I'm so confused. So what are you doing? Are we good? What do you need help with? Wow. Excuse me? God, Chad, why do you make me read? Oh, Vanya, did we ever get another chapter? Did I miss on the chapter, or am I caught up right now?
Everything okay? Think so. Okay, cover your faces. Train should
What do we need to do? Oh, it's so hot. Oh, okay, cool. Now, Vanya, you're good. You take your time, sweetie. I really appreciate it. I just want to make sure that I didn't miss one. And, Vanya, I'm so sorry that happened. Oh my God, you ready, chat? Here we go. We're gonna do it, chat. You ready? Chat, you ready? You ready, chat? Are you ready? Here we go, coming down from downtown. It's me. Oh, he fucked up, chat. He fucked up, chat. He fucked up, chat. He fucked up, chat. He fucked up, chat.
You have gotta be kidding me. Where did you find that moral? You said it was fine. Come on! You're pathetic. You know that?
Oh, fuck. Follow him, 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 follow him. 3. Oh, God, no. Oh, God. No! No, chat! No! 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 Why? Why? Why would you do this to me, you fucker? How long have you been waiting? How long have you been waiting? How long have you been waiting? He was, we couldn't move! Crucified, if I ever see you in my neighborhood, I'm going to take you and slam you over the back of a chair. And away we go. You tried to do it twice, but you couldn't do it because I'm too fast for you. God, I see the amount of you who tried to do that. How fucking dare you? Oh no! What do you mean? Ow! You abandoned the train? No, the train abandoned me like my father. Alright, let's see if this works this time. No, I still have a decent relationship with my... What is wrong with him? Oh, where is Lenny? Well... You know, I never thought, like, freezing the player would be that big of an issue, ever. I didn't think it would be, like, an instant loss situation. Apparently, we're wrong. Let's see if we can pull him up. Hello, hello, hi, whatever, how you doing? Oh no, he needs... There we go. Don't you do it. Oh god, okay, here we go. Alright, this is one's for Vanya. Vanya's a fantastic writer, this is sure gonna be great. You ready, chat? You ready? Hey, flicks my tail while blushing pensively. I need to tell you something, senpai. Blushes hotly before you suddenly bend to the wall. I love you. I love you too much. Like my body will explode if I didn't say anything yet. You don't get it. I can't get you out of my mind no matter what I do, and you make my heart go 300 miles an hour. Please say something. Kiss me. Anyways. Just... No, sorry. Oh, fuck. Why do... No! Okay, God. Yeah. Oh, shit. No. Fall. Ah, thank God. What was what? Wow. Yeah, fine. Chat. Chat. Walls don't matter where we're going. Walls ain't real where we're going. All right, chat. You know, for $300. I'll kill. Anyways, yeah. Kenny's so good at this. Look at him. No. Oh, God. Thank God. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. Don't spawn. No. I don't have time for this. Woo-wee. Ooh-wee. Who brought the old lady? No! Oh, it's fine. It's fine, chat. It's fine. It's fine. No, stop. Oh, we're back. Oh. Oh! Thank you for the subscription. I really, really appreciate it. How you doing? Thank you for the sub. Mwah. Was that a gifted sub or was that a sub? Thank you for the sub. You subbed. I appreciate it a lot. How you doing? How are you doing? Why is your pain my joy? I don't know, because I'm goofy. I'm a little silly guy. Well, so God, chat. I got. Come on. Yes! Alright, chat, you can't freeze me if I'm on the ladder, chat. You can't freeze me if I'm on the ladder, chat. Okay. No. Fuck. There's only one way I can survive, chat. The only way I can survive that is if I grab onto the ladder as we sneak out, okay? So we're gonna try again. We're gonna do this, chat. I'm gonna make it. No! I'm about to increase the price, chat. I'm about to increase the price. We can do this 5 more times before it stops being fun. So that's 1. We have 4 more before I increase. It's instant. How many did you buy? 2. All right, let me No, what? What do you mean I'm too high? What do you mean you're abandoning the train? I'm not abandoning the train. You're abandoning my life. Kill it faster. Kill it faster. Kill it. We don't have time. We don't have time. We don't have time. We don't have time. We're just going. You ain't got time, chat. No. All right, we're stealthing. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. I can do it. I can do it, chat. I got this. I got this. It's fine. There's a guy. I'm just a little drunk. But don't matter. Don't matter as long as we keep going. Damn it. We got this. We got this. We got this. We got this. Come on. 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 Reverse the grapple. Reverse the grapple. Reverse it. Reverse it. Reverse it. Reverse it. Reverse it. Reverse it. There it goes. Beat him to death. Beat him to death. Hit him in the dick. All right. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Don't. Ha 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 ha! Y'all couldn't get it. Y'all couldn't do it. Y'all couldn't do it fast enough, could ya? I can't see shit. Nice. Oh, Jesus. No, why am I getting beat by women? Panting softly while Winston. Wait, senpai. Thud being pinned down while looking up at his beloved flustered. No need to be so brash. Senpai already said I love you. Muffled noises to signify sudden smooching. You already make it hard to breathe when I think of you making it harder, senpai. Love you. Please be mine. Be mine. Be mine. Got it. Ah. No, I got shot. Okay. All right, let me breathe for a second here, chat. Why was I doing Southern voice? But kind battery, arson, no sexy. Kind battery, arson, no sexy is the name of this one. Leon, you didn't miss shit. All right. Don't do it. Don't do it. Come on. All right, give me a second. No, curse these ads.
Good shooting, kid. I can see now why the O'Driscolls brought so many boys up here for this. Arthur, get over here.
We did it, chat. We did it. Ooh. Okay. All right.
Let's get the money and go. We got
How's everybody doing, by the way? Everybody doing great? Everybody doing lovely? Everybody doing amazing?
What are you boys planning on doing in there? Listen to me. We don't want to kill any of you. Any more of you. I give you my word.
I'm glad to hear it.
We will.
I work for Leviticus Corps.
Come on, boys.
We got our orders.
Okay. You asked for it.
We ain't
5,
opening this door.
4, 3, 2, 1. These are friends on death.
All right, chat. It's time.
Wake them up a little.
Is bullying gene therapeutic, really?
Attention up. Mr. Williamson, give Mr. Morgan and Mr. Smith some dynamite. You two boys go blow that door open.
All right, here we go.
Now, don't matter too much to us, but you boys in there might want to take a step back.
How are they doing this? With like tar or something? I'm glad you all love the chaos. Fine, fine, fine. It's kind of clever, whatever they're doing.
Unless you've got a death wish, I'd step back,
Is it love, chat? Do you love me? Chat, do you love me? I hope you know I love you. Ah. No. Okay. That's fair. Come on out. I like you too, chat. Thank you for the heal. I appreciate it. Chat definitely friend zones me. You know what? That's fair. That's fair. Chat friend zones me. You're okay, I guess. Wow, Carmia. If I did what? If I did what? You want me just to? It's a good community. As long as everybody is respectful of everybody and stays aware and doesn't bully other people too hard. You can bully me as hard as you want, but be careful bullying each other, okay? Then you all are so amazing, and I appreciate you. Oh, Leon, do you want to play Peak sometime with me? Do you want to do like a Peak collab sometime? With like crowd control? Oh, not this again. All right, where is it? Where is it? Thud, signifying room door swinging open, making everyone pause. Oh, wait, hold on. Don't stare. Wait, I can explain, senpai. I'm just playing Smash Bros with my bro, Leo. No, I'm not cheating on you, senpai, I promise. Leo suddenly kisses Jean, making him flustered. No, wait, my heart, you're going to both... going to make me explode. No, if you both kiss... Wow. Okay, that's as far as we're going. I give up. No more. No more. No. That was the last one. It's the last one, Vanya. Whoa. Okay, keep the panties on. Oh, I have this. Domingo Mingo, how you doing? How you doing? I know. Keep the panties on, chat. I'm doing good. I'm eating raisins. Nom.
Not really. Sugar imports from the Spanish West Indies. A lot of sugar. Some fancy new boaties ordered from Europe.
Oh my god, look at the outfit, chat. That actually kind of looks good. Panties are underwear. That's why I have them forced to take them off. That's fair.
Have you checked all the drawers and cabinets?
What? No. Just the grapes. Dry grape raisins. Oh yeah, no. Sorry, I'm eating raisins. I'm not being racist. I see what you mean. Nom.
Nothing much yet.
Chat, I'm a fucking idiot, chat. No, just raisins, chat. Do you want to know how much of an idiot what the fuck?
These just seem to be contracts. Arthur, have you looked down the end there?
Chat, do you want to know how much of an idiot I am, chat?
There must be something.
Oh. Chat, the game just called me an idiot and made me turn around. So, okay. This morning I was looking for my G Fuel, right? And I couldn't find it. Do you want to know where it was? It was under the container of raisins. It was literally right next to me, under the container of raisins, because I stacked them on top of each other. And my brain could not comprehend that the raisins were on top of something. It would affect everybody in the game if we set it up right. We can set it up however you want. We can do just me, or we can do both of us. No. I have G Fuel. It sucks. I have G Fuel. It sucks. I accidentally bought G Fuel instead of Gamer Supps, and it is the worst thing ever, chat. But because there is so much additional stuff in it. Every time I drink the G Fuel, chat, there is powder in the bottom of my glass from the sediment that it left over. So yeah, it is so awful. And don't forget, Saura, Saora. You can use that code on GSumps to, I don't know if it gives you off, but it gives the creator, Saura, our lovely Saura, free money.
What did you find? These rods. They worth anything? Oh, sure.
It's the cocaine and the joy fuel. That's fair, that's fair.
Probably sell these pretty easily. Well done. Would you get rid of all of this? Train? Get it out of here.
Please, may I have a nipple? Support the piss fish. But also, don't harass the piss fish. Don't harass Sword Art Online when they are streaming. And don't mention me in their stream. they have a very specific audience, and it's gonna upset their audience. As much as I love you all so much, don't go joking with the piss fish while they're streaming. Joke with them when they're here. You said what about your nipple? I said nothing about my nipple. Huh. Oh, no, chat. Oh, no, chat. Whatever will we do? Boop. Boop. Five. 4. There we go. But yeah, the piss fish, Saora. Vok Madden, ba-da-ba-da-ba. And that applies for any streamer, any cool streamers that you see come in here. Do not mention me in their streams. Why is there just a random lady here? Lady? Ladies? Bye, Neeks. Miss you already. Mm-hmm. Bye, Nika Leak. Bye, Sneaky Leak. Vok na da ba da da na na. Gonna ba 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 da da. Ba 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 da da na na. Venus, what do you mean your favorite? I'm right here, Venus. I'm right here, Venus. Oh, sorry. There is a VTuber named Saura, who is a part-time streamer who comes in here every once in a while and we hang out. And they're a cool person. But I want to make sure people are not like harassing them in their stream about me. Is all I'm saying. You get it?
Well, then let's go. Clean noses and everything else. Arthur, you're in that one. Bring Hosea. I know you two like to talk about the good old days and what's gone wrong with old Dutch.
Yeah, that one. She's just silly. She's just silly goofy. Oh, okay, I need to check on something real quick. We need to check on something real quick here. Yeah, why am I not your favorite? Why am I not your favorite? I should be your favorite. Yeah. Anyways, lovies. Guess what time it is? Guess what time it is?
Lenny! Micah, get over here!
I'm the best.
Come on, kid. You can buy me a whiskey.
It's the time that you hate. No, don't cry. Don't cry, chat. Don't cry, chat. It has been. What do you mean the dog they hate? To launch Gene? You can't launch me yet. It's not gonna work. What do you mean I can't leave yet? What do you mean I can't? Don't sad eyes. Why are you sad? Don't sad eyes me. This is a vehicle, by the way, chat. If you want to knock somebody off of a vehicle, this will probably work.
Hurry it up. We've got work to do.
No. Stop sad-eyesing me. Give me one good reason. Give me a good reason, chat. Give me a good enough reason and I'll stay. Won't latch onto your legs.
Shit. Okay. Let's take a look.
You all right back there?
What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? What did, how did he go back? Oh, did you see him? Did you see him fucking teleport?
Put the wheel back on, Arthur. You still strong enough to hold up?
That was insane.
Just saying. Say this.
You are all good people. Such good people. Mwah, love you all so much. You're the best. Sent damage. Did you just damage me? Wow.
You ain't so useless after.
Wait, did he grow facial hair in the last 3 seconds? He changed outfits and grew facial hair in the last 3 seconds. It is nighttime for chat. It is nighttime for Gene. I'm sorry, chat. It is time.
Poor bastards. We really screwed them over down here. Come on, let's not push our luck. What happened? Well,
Time for us to find. I do have to wash my sheet. When it's time to stream. Did I die? Oh, I thought I died. Sun is so you can finally do your laundry. Exactly. I gotta go wash all my sheets and my blankets and my pillows. Cause I've totally not been sleeping on my pillows without pillow covers, chat. Why would I ever do that? That's awful. Aika, I'm so sorry, Aika. I'm so sorry, Aika. You know, if I like. No, I don't have time. I don't have time, chat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, chat. I don't have the time. I have things I need to do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If I could just stream all the time, I would. I would. It's all I would ever do. But I don't have the ability to do that, chat. I'm sorry. All right, let's see what we got. Do you want to raid Tippy again? Chad, do you want to raid Tippy again? She's got similar energy to me. Can we raid Tippy? We're going to raid Tippy again. Yeah, there we go. It's okay, chat. We're going to raid Tippy. Alright, go say hi to Tippy, chat. You give him lots of love. Do we have the Mpreg emote? Do you want to do an Mpreg raid? So do Lucky raid, but with the Mpreg symbol. There we go. Copy that one, chat, or copy the one with the hearts, depending on what you have. We will be back tomorrow. We show them you know exactly what we're doing in the morning. We always do it in the morning. Copy it. You ready? You ready, sweeties? I love you all so very, very much. You are all the best. Tell Tippy that I think they're super cool. Tell them that... Don't bully them. I'm like, tell them to keep you on the game show. But no, it's fine. All right. We're going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.